Hello everyone, it's Shannon here. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, we are going to create an interactive card that has a hidden pull tab to create this really fun and colorful mailbox card. To create today's card, I'm going to be using the Sweet Mailbox combo. It comes with the Sweet Sentiment stamp set as well as the Mailbox die. I'm going to use the large die from this set and die cut it out of some gray cardstock. The die adds some score lines, so now I'm going to fold this up along those score lines. Just fold the top part over, and then I'll have the little door here that I'll fold up. And the last fold I'll have is this little tab. That is where you adhere and kind of close this mailbox up. So I'm just going to fold that little tab over, and that's my mailbox. Pretty simple. I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the little tab here and actually seal this shut. And I'll just hold this shut just till that glue sets up a little bit. And now that I'm done with that, I'm ready to move on to the next step. And now moving on to my background. To keep it really simple yet beautiful, I'm going to use a piece of pattern paper from the JJ Rainbows paper pads. This is the sampler pack, and I'm going to pull out this beautiful rainbow here. This sheet is also included in the JJ Rainbows full-size pack. I just went ahead and cut that sheet in half. The beautiful thing about these paper pads is they're 8.5 by 5.5, so if you just cut one sheet in half, you get two A2 panels. I have one of the A2 panels here, and I'm just going to now cut off about an inch from the back side of this mailbox. This is just going to, when you remove this, it's going to make it easier for our pull tab to kind of move in and out of a hidden slot. So I'm just going to grab my scissors here and just freehand this. This doesn't have to be an exact inch, just an approximate inch. You do want to take some care here and not cut the front of the mailbox at all. You definitely want to keep that intact so you can hide the pull tab and the mailbox looks complete. Now that it's cut, I'm going to grab my mechanical pencil here and just mark where that cut edge is on the back of my mailbox. Kind of transfer that and make a line on my pattern paper. And then I'll just trace it out with a ruler so it's about the dimensions of, or the width of the mailbox. And I'm going to make it about 1/4 inch wide. So I just use my ruler there to kind of trace out this little slot opening, really, essentially. So the little slot or opening that's 1/4 inch wide and height of the mailbox. And now I'm just going to grab my X-Acto knife and cut that out. There you go. You can see our little slot now a lot better. And that is perfectly covered by the mailbox, so we're great there. Now I'm measuring my mailbox to figure out the dimensions of my pull tab. I need it to be about 2¼ inch by 4.5, and I just used my ruler to kind of figure that out. So I went ahead and cut that our piece of white cardstock to those dimensions, and this white cardstock is 110-pound weight. It is nice to have a sturdy weight cardstock for anything that you're going to be pulling on. You can see here if I feed it through the slot and then through the mailbox, it's hidden perfectly by that mailbox, and it just has a really cool look. I'm now going to add a little stopper to our pull tab. This is going to make sure so when I pull the pull tab, it doesn't come completely out of the card. I just cut a little bit of cardstock down to 1/4 inch by 2.5, so it's a little bit wider than the pull tab. And I just adhered it to the end of the pull tab, and you can see here that will stop that pull tab from completely coming out of our back panel. And that will just make sure that this card can basically be pulled over and over again. Now I just assembled everything, and I'm just going to trace when the pull tab's completely extended that edge so I know where to stamp my sentiment. I grabbed a sentiment from the Sweet Sentiment stamp set and I positioned it here, making sure it doesn't go past that pencil line, and then I will stamp it in VersaFine. I did apply some anti-static powder and then dipped it into some clear embossing powder just to kind of set that VersaFine because it is a pigment ink and it does stay wet a little bit longer. So I decided I needed to add a frame to the back of our background panel. So I die cut a frame out of white cardstock using the rainbow panel die, and I'm just going to adhere it to the back of this panel. This is actually not necessary, but I thought I needed this to stop the pull tab from being pushed out of the card, but you don't actually have to do this step. But it does add some nice support. So I went ahead and added that and then put my pull tab in, and now I'm ready to kind of glue my mailbox down. So when I glue this down here, I want to avoid putting any glue on the lower kind of 1/2 inch of the mailbox. That's just because I want to tuck some cardstock underneath that, so I don't want to have any adhesive there. So just added some adhesive to the back side of the mailbox, avoiding that bottom 1/2 inch. Once that's stuck down, I'm just going to pop my pull tab in here just to make sure everything is still fitting together and moving properly. And here are my two little slips of white cardstock that I'm going to add. I'm basically going to construct a little frame for the mailbox. These little 1/2 inch strips have a wood grain texture on them, which just adds some nice texture to this, and I'm just going to adhere them down with some liquid glue, again tucking them in and under the mailbox just to make it look like they are supporting that mailbox and being a frame. Once those are in place, I'm now going to move on to adhering this panel onto my card base. So I have a 110-pound white card base here. I'm just going to add glue to that frame, and then I will stick it down onto the card front. Just hold it a sec till that glue sets, and then I'll move on to the next step. So I picked out a rainbow of pattern papers from the Waffle Flower pattern paper packs. The orange and yellow are from the Enchanted dots, the pink and green is from the Enchanted lines, and the blue is from the Botanical dots. And I just picked out colors I thought that went well with our background panel, and then I die cut them out with a couple dies from the Mailbox Die set, and now I'm just going to adhere them to the card front. Obviously the envelopes are going onto the pull tab and the little arm onto, or the little flag onto the mailbox itself, just arranging them here in rainbow order. And these envelopes are actually the reason why I didn't even need to bother with the frame, because they extend beyond or wider than the pull tab, and they would actually stop the pull tab from being pushed out of the background panel. And here's the finished card. I love that when the door is shut on the mailbox, you can see some of the envelopes poking out, implying that this mailbox is stuffed to the max with Happy Mail. And then of course when you open the door, you see part of the sentiment, then you pull the pull tab and you get to see the full sentiment. And I also love that this pull tab mechanism is completely hidden. You don't even know when that little door is shut what kind of fun surprise is behind it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card and video. If you'd like any more information on the products I used, please check out the links below in the description. And if you like this video, I'd so appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.